Exercise A02 is going to make you practice the ternary conditional operators. Okay, operator, which is a good operator to know in C because you'll find it in a lot of code, and also nested printf statement and things like that. So we're going to have a series of exercises here that are going to just aim at making sure that everybody after this week in the class is 100% okay with their programming concept basis. Okay, nested if statement, serially arranged if statement, nested loops, serially arranged loops, etc., etc. So this is still mostly a review with a little sparkle on it, which is we're going to review programming concept, but while learning also the C language. Okay, so we need to read two integer variables from the user, display the biggest one. Two versions of the code, do it with an if statement and two printf, trivial, then do it with a single printf and an embedded ternary conditional operator. So let's open our code here. We're going to need two variables first, x and y. Let's call them x and y. Okay, and we're going to read two integer value from the user. Enter integer number 1, scanf, %d for an int, and ampersand x. Store my first integer in x. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Read the second integer. Store it this time inside of y. Okay, I have my two integers. Now what? Well, I'm going to compare them. If x less or strict than y, I know that, and I'm using a weird indentation here for the if statement, but you'll encounter it occasionally. I'm going to say, well, the first integer was the biggest. Okay, sorry, the second integer was the biggest. Second value is the biggest. \n, and I'm done. Else, well, I'm not going to treat the case where they're equal. I'm just going to assume that I want the biggest value, and if they're equal, anyone will do. So first value is the biggest. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to save, I'm going to compile. This is the first version of my code using if statement and to printf. Compile, no compilation error, execute. Now, how am I going to test this? Well, whether I use positive or negative numbers here doesn't matter. Okay, but what matters, like we discussed in our first day of class, is order, the relative order of those numbers. So let me try to make up a test on S here. My first test, the first integer is 1, the second is 2. Second value is the biggest, working. My second test on S will be first integer is bigger than the second one. First value is the biggest, bingo. My last test on S will be both integer are equal, and it tells me the first value is the biggest. Why not? Okay, this is acceptable. So then I would go here, and I would complete here my test on S. Okay, expected value was 2, observed was 2. When the test on S are becoming a little bit more difficult, you will have to, of course, test. You will have to actually write your test on S before you just run your program like I did. Okay, so here I'm just saying that I tried, and I'm messing up here. I tried like a value that is the second value is the biggest. So my program displayed on the screen. Second is biggest. This is what I expected. In the other case, what I expected was the first value is the biggest. My program displayed indeed first value is biggest. And here, what did I expect? Well, in fact, I expect really any of them. And I got first. And this is acceptable. Okay? So this is how you would like test your program and fill up the test on S. Now I have my test on S. I can go back to my program, try to implement the second version, which is not going to be much more difficult. Well, let's say I'm going to display on the screen either second or first value is biggest. How do I know whether I want to display first or second? Well, that depends on the comparison, right? So I'm going to compare x less than 3 than y. Use the ternary conditional operator here. If this is true, then I want to display the second value is the biggest. Else, the first value is the biggest. And this is really all there is to it. So I'm going to save, and we're going to test that. Conqueror, GCC, execute. I follow my test harness. 1, 2. Second value is the biggest. Correct. 2, 1. Correct. 3, 3. Correct. Okay. I'm going to put up back the code, and we are done with this exercise.